the wrong kind of exposure can actually be deadly or just get you exposed.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie?
Hey guys, thanks for clicking on the video. This is going to be my review for Shades of Blue, and this is actually season 1, episode 5. Can't believe it's been 5 episodes already. But pretty good here. Okay, so we start out and we see Tess and Harley are actually chasing down these two guys, and it was funny because Harley like literally tackled this guy and fell in dog shit and all of this. But anyway, the whole thing, the dog shit was whatever it was, and they got $500,000 worth of heroin off of this little petty drug dealer, who turned out was actually working for Raul Mendes. Remember, Mendes is actually a connect of bosses. Remember in the beginning, in the first episode, when he owns the mortuary and all that stuff? Remember when he took the guy to the mortuary and got rid of him? Okay, so now we got this whole thing where $500,000 worth of drugs are now in the hands of the police that belongs to Mendes. So that has caused a little bit of a rift between Mendes and Wozniak. So we got that whole little thing going on, and that's what was going on in this. They were going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Mendes is like, give me my shit. Wozniak's like, I mean, come on, seriously, like, I'm a dirty cop, but I'm a cop nonetheless. Sure, if I can drug dealer. What do you want me to do? I can't just, I mean, I could bend some things, but come on, stop it. That you blew. You had no business using this low-level bullshit ass drug dealer to do your business, and now you fucked up. That's it. Eat it and go on. Well, they, like I said, were going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Well, what ended up happening, Wozniak's car ends up getting snatched. His car got snatched. And it was just a thing where, like, literally, Raul was doing shit just to irritate him. He got the car, and this is where I say, when I say about exposure, the wrong kind of exposure causes a problem. That bastard took his car and had his Lincoln spray painted pink and put gay magazines all in the back of it. And then returned it. So, of course, they were like riding Wozniak because nobody really knows about his little secrets, his little rendezvous that he takes and all that. Child, I said, this is a mess right here. So he did that. I knew then, I said, there's going to be some shit that's going to go down about that, because that's not just going to go like that. That ain't going to just be it. They were trying to get Wozniak. They was like, well, let's just smooth everything over. Why don't we just give him a little bit of the drugs and then just let it all kind of work itself out? He was like, no, that's not going to happen. I am a cop, and I'm not going to play this kind of game. If I'm nice to him, that means I got to be nice to everybody. I'm not going to do it. I was like, okay, so what is Woz going to do? I was like, this is going to be interesting. Surely, let me tell you what he did. He took his ass down to see the Ghetto Boys. He went to the little black barber shop, told them, I'm going to put y'all down with some good money. Are you in or you out? The guy's like, tell me what I got to do. He said, he told him who he was dealing with. He told him it was Raul. He going to say, no, you got a death. You trying to have me fucked up, He like, you'll be protected, but you got to tell me you're on board with everything. So I'm like, all right, what's going on? So, of course, they're going back and forth still. that damn was ends up getting Raul and punched him in the face. He lured him. Raul went to meet up with one of his little low level folks. Was had him all fucked up, got him, ambushed him, punched him in his mouth, knocked his ass out. When he came to, he had his ass handcuffed to the barbershop chair. Okay? And the two black barbers that he was talking about, he told him, he said, they're talking. Of course, Mendes, he's got an attitude. He's real arrogant. And he's telling Walls, look, some shit about, but basically that he knew the secret about him being gay, or bisexual or whatever you want to call it. But he said, my appetite calls for some different things. He's going to say, yeah, obviously, but I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror. He's like, really? Okay. We're going to see. Child, next thing I know, honey, they took the chair, leaned the chair all the way back, baby. And because one of them was like a cuter guy and smaller frame. The other guy was like a heavy, tall, he was a big black guy, big. Baby, he leans him back, baby. He gonna tell him, I hope you ain't got no gag reflexes because I got something big, honey, for you. I said, oh. Baby, they did him, and he done went, and when we seen the last of him, baby, he was unzipping his pants, getting ready to let him. So I laughed at that. I said, that's a mess. And the next time we see him, we seen Tofu, which is the black guy that's actually on Wozniak's team. And he was taking Mendes back to deliver him back to wherever it was that he was actually going. Baby, he had a stupid look on his face, honey. And I said, see? Exposing someone else and trying to be cute. Now you got some exposure that you didn't want. And they videotaped it. So they videotaped him giving head, getting fucked, or whatever he was doing. I'm sure the way it sounded like he was doing a whole lot of all of it, baby. But they got video, and that's what Wall said. All you're gonna have, you're nothing but a low-level drug dealer your damn self, and you gonna be telling somebody some story, and maybe they'll believe you, maybe they won't. What do you think? But I'll have video on you. So I said, child, see how that works? See how that works? It could be deadly. And it could also just be embarrassing as hell, because when somebody gets you and exposes you, mess. Anyway, speaking of being exposed, remember Tess and her partner were having. So this whole episode, Wozniak was looking at Tess, thinking that Tess is the mole, okay? Because we found out Donnie was actually at his office, and the jerk actually went to Donnie and basically let him know, what was going on, that he actually had a mole on Wozniak's team and all that. Funny thing about Donnie wants to continue on anyway. He had told Wozniak, he's like, you really do have a mole. There's somebody that's a mole, but the guy wouldn't tell me who it was. But the FBI does have somebody in your team that's a mole. He said, but we need to go ahead and go forward. He's like, so you know that there's a mole, but you want me to continue on to go ahead with this deal. He's like, you know what? And that's what he told us to see. This is the best because they be having, child. And he told him, he's like, if something happens, with me and I get all exposed, everything, he's like, I'm going to hurt you. And it ain't going to be it's not going to just be me punching you in the face. I'm going to fuck you up. I was like, child, okay, so you really do just be banging him. I mean, because he came in, kissed him all in the mouth and everything, which says that he has some type of feelings for him. But he told him, I will surely fuck you up. I was like, okay. Interesting. Anyway, so that was that. Just a damn mess. But yeah, so the jerk is running around doing all kind of shit. Let's see. Harley actually went to Gail and told Gail, I think, the way I'm actually being handled by the jerk is not, it just is not good. I think he has more of an interest in me than what the FBI is calling for. Gail basically blew her off and told her, you know what, I'm going to be nice and I ain't going to tell him we had this conversation. Don't call me again. And remember, they know each other from, way back. She's like, you are a criminal and you've been found out. You need to do what it is that we're trying to do and move on and try to stay from keeping having your ass go to jail. And you need to just get on. And I was like, well, that was pretty cold blooded. You know what I mean? She didn't even want to hear it. So here, Harley called it a favor. She got a little friend who used to work with them. He was a trainer and all of that. And he does the placement of bugs and all that shit. She had him go and bug the jerk's apartment. And she was actually watching him toward the end of the program. She's watching him. And she stopped watching, when he was getting all dressed up, and then he was actually going to go on a date, and she didn't pay enough attention. When the woman showed up, she got too much integrity with her. She cuts the camera off, and she don't watch. But here it was. It's a $500 goddamn hooker that he was going out with, and he's role playing and told her, what's your name? And she's like, oh, you got my money? I'll be whoever you want me to be. He said, how about Harley? So he really does have some deep-rooted shit going on, and he ain't right. All them pages ain't turning, but she didn't even see that because she had turned the camera off. So she don't even know what she's dealing with. Okay, so we did all that. Finds out that Tess, I was saying my Wozniak been trailing Tess and everything, trying to figure out what's going on with Tess because he thinks Tess is the mole. Well, he ends up walking up on Tess and her partner. Baby, they done went and got a motel room, get ready to get down, honey. They in the bed. He done busted in on the action and basically told her, men are dogs. I understand you're upset with your husband. Either you going to stay with your husband and deal, or you going to leave, but fucking your partner is what you're not going to do. You're going to leave that alone. And leave it alone today. I won't say anything, but you're going to leave that shit alone today. So it's funny because now you got the two girls. It's Harley and Tess are the only two women in his team of dirty cops, and he's more of a father figure to both of them. You know what I mean? So I understood that. That was interesting to me. That he has a soft side, but it's really just them two. I mean, the dude that he's fucking, he ain't got no soft side for that motherfucker. He likes that dog that he Wozniak. He's very interesting to me. Like, the show is so funny because the show is Jennifer Lopez's show, but I swear Ray Liotta's character is more interesting. He's the most interesting thing in the show because he's such a complex person. He really is. He's so complex. He got so many different sides to him. You know what I mean? Yeah, I like him. I like just going week to week trying to figure out what the fuck he got going on because he's messy as hell. I like it. But anyway, so he told her, leave that alone. And then she had to basically break that to her partner, like, I ain't fucking with you no more. And that kind of hurt his feelings naturally. Because again, he is better to her. They really could be a good couple if she were to leave her husband and go with him. But then again, where would that go? Because they'll never trust each other. But anyway. So she said she's leaving that shit alone. She's going to try to make her marriage work or whatever, but she ain't fooled with him. So we got all that. Okay. So last thing that actually went on, Christina, Harley's daughter, she's lying to her. She got a little boyfriend, and she literally lied to her. And she found out because she has a boyfriend. He got caught in her car, and they picked him up. Tofu picked him up, and they brought him in. They thought he stole the car, and they just harassed him. Then the ADA guy came in, and he got involved in it, and it was a mess. But what they ended up finding out was that he is actually Christina's boyfriend. He does like Christina, and Christina, he didn't say whether they've been having sex or anything. He said no, but he wasn't going to tell Harley that because she had already fucked him up once. But she's lying. She's been lying to her mom, and she's kind of like, damn, this bitch is lying to me now. But again, I mean, that's age appropriate, honey. It is what it is. So that whole thing was actually going on. So that was really, really interesting. But that's basically it. That's actually all that really happened in this episode. This was a good episode. And that's it. Thumbs up, thumbs down. You guys know how that works. And I will get with you guys next week. All right, guys. Bye.